Star forts. All right. So this is Bortange fort. This is in the Netherlands. And as you can see, five-pointed star. And then we have this kind of grid, right? This explosion coming out from the top. And so why are star forts in these patterns? You know, they're not all five-pointed, obviously, but there's lots of variation. But we're going to look at, you know, some cymatics and other pictures and start to see the correlations with energy. Because to me, this looks like energy. And, you know, I do get the question of, you know, with star forts and tartaria and all that, you know, I'm of the opinion that it was, you know, an advanced civilization that was based on frequency. You know, we talk about the cathedrals and things like this as healing centers and you know, antiquitech and free energy and all this kind of stuff. And for me, it really came off the back of star forts and the fact that these forts, the shapes, are so similar to things like cymatics, to the work of Dr. Emoto, to mandalas, to snowflakes, to lots of different things. This is Fort McHenry. This is a five-pointer, another five-pointer. This is in the US. The state escapes me at the moment, but you can see, again, this is a five-pointer, but then it has this kind of explosion off to the side. And this is something we see in cymatics. Like we see a central, and also this shape here, right? This pentagon in the middle. They're often pentagons, obviously five-sided. We also get a lot of hexagons and things, octagons. You'll see this in the cymatics as well. So to me, there's definitely a correlation. This is Fort Jefferson off the coast, basically in the Caribbean, right? Off the end of the Florida Keys, 200 miles off the shore. Largest red brick building in, what did I read? It's not North America. I think it's actually in the Northern Hemisphere, the largest red brick building. 16 million bricks built out in the middle of the ocean in the 1830s. For the Civil War, of course, because I guess the Civil War was on water now. Right? Maybe that'll be a new Mandela effect. But this here, this is a picture from an oscillator. An oscilloscope. And an oscilloscope is basically, it's representing frequency in a shape that we, you know, in a geometric shape. And as you can see, this is a what is it, a hexagon. And so we get these shapes from music, from musical frequencies. This is Palmova. This is obviously a drawing of it. This is from the 1600s, but again, we get this double shape, right? We get the inside star and then this outside star forming. And this one's a photo, and you can see it actually goes further. We actually have these points in here as well. Because with star forts, we're only seeing the top of them. Because as you can see, there's even more out here, right? It just keeps expanding out. And most of the stars we see now, that they're basically buried as far as I can work out, apart from the top bit here. And so what we're seeing around the edge is the top of the buried bits. So they're much larger than we know, right? Here's a four-pointed one. In the middle, they got the square, and then they got the circle, right? They squared the circle for us. So they're the star forts that we see around. There's another nice five-pointed one. The Citadel of Jaca in Italy. And here we have a drawing. So this one shows us, you know, like the different layers. But even this one, I think, you know, this is a drawing of what they found. It's called Covorden. But I think this is a drawing, you know, of what they found, not of the actual full star fort. So even in this drawing, there's probably more going on. And here we have, this is cymatics. So cymatics is frequency played through different mediums, the same as an oscilloscope, to get a geometric pattern from it. So they either play frequency through water, like this one, where they take a photo. This is the female human vow of U. So this is off speech. This is a female saying the letter U, or, you know, the sound U. And this is what it looks like. right? Because everything is frequency and everything has a frequency. So a frequency will have a geometric shape, it'll have a sound, it'll have a color, and other, variables as well. And so this is what we get. And as you can see, it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7-pointed star fort maybe. It's quite similar to Palmova, just the way it's designed, but you can see there's more to it, right? It keeps getting bigger as it goes out. This is somatic photo. This is 13.8 hertz. And in the middle here, we see a 5-pointed star, right? And when we zoom in, you'll see the middle's 5, but then the outside, it looks like we've got an extra point. So it's 10-sided, right? Then it gets bigger and bigger. And of course, this overlay looks a little bit like the flower of life, doesn't it? The way that it all sort of comes together there. So this is, I think, what we're dealing with. These diagrams show the paths traced by Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn as seen from Earth. I found this interesting. It's a bit of a small picture, but you can see Mercury is this shape. And this shape is around a lot. It's sort of like an apple, right? The apple. Here, Venus, we've got a clear star, 5-pointed star in the middle. And it's very similar to the last one we saw, right? To this one, which is 13.8 hertz. Whoops. And as you can see, it gets more and more complex as it goes out. Mars, same thing. We've got this, quite intricate or many multi-pointed shape in the middle, and it just gets more complex as it goes out. Jupiter and Saturn. So these are the paths that these planets, planetoids, whatever they are, planets. These are the what's the orbits? Is that the word? The orbits that they make, that they track around the Earth. So very, very similar to star forts, right? And to these cymatic patterns, you'll start to see there's definitely correlations between them all. These are just different frequencies. You can see here 345 hertz. We've got a square, basically, a 4-pointed star. 1033, it gets more intricate, and as they go forward, they get more and more intricate. Now, this one here, 3835, this pattern here is seen a lot. And I don't have the picture, but it's actually, there's a Sumerian relief that shows basically a giant sitting in a chair and all these smaller people, and that he's holding up a circle with this on it, with this pattern on it. So, there's correlations to these designs and these patterns everywhere. Here's another cymatic shape. And this one, they've drawn, some geometry over it just to show you what we've got here. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-sided star here in the middle. And as you can see, not the best pixels, but it starts off as a different shape and gets more intricate as it goes out. Here we have, what would be the citadel, right? The inside of a star fort. With this shape here, we've got a hexagon, and then outside we've got the 7-pointed star. And then we have these bits, which look a lot like the bastions, right, on the star forts. Okay, so they show the same geometry. And like I said, this here is like the citadel. This is a 6-sided one, though. And then we have these bastions, which are these bits that stick out on star forts, right? They have a similar shape to this as well. So this is what I see when I look at star forts is a cymatic pattern. Look at this one with all its edges around. It's a big one, like Palmova, right? And in here, again, right, we have this, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that 8? Octagon in the middle, right? And then with the star on the outside. This is, what did it say? There are 3 classes of people: those who see, those who don't see when they're shown, and those who just don't see it, right? What's that other saying? Those who know what's going on, those who think they know what's going on, and those who don't know that anything went on. All to do with how open your mind is, right? But these are all different types of cymatics. As you can see here, this is, you've probably all seen this. This is Aztec, an Aztec calendar. Okay, we've got the points here, looking very similar to, to a cymatic shape. And I'm not sure, they haven't sort of marked all of these, but these are, it looks like spirograph, right? Oh, so these are orbits, Earth, Mercury orbit, Earth, Venus orbits. And everything is basically the same, right? It's all the same. This is DNA. This is our DNA. Top view down. Same thing. Okay, we get these edges on it. So everything is frequency. It's another view of DNA with the spiral. Particle collisions on near-Earth objects. I don't know what a near-Earth object is, but same, you can see this is, there's more lines in it. It's not as defined, but it's definitely, you can see there's a star shape in there. We've got more here. This is all DNA. These are orbits or, pathways of stars. CERN particle accelerator and the church windows. That's another one. I don't think I've got any pictures, but for this time. But the rose windows we see in churches, which are always above where the organ. If you see an organ in a church, it's always got one of these windows above it. Of course, organs give off frequency, right? Healing frequencies. This is cymatic frequency, the human vowel. So this is the human voice. Okay, through speaking, right? Through speaking, which is spells, frequency. We also get these patterns, mathematical constants of physics. I'm not sure. So this is pi, apparently. And you can see in the middle here, we've got like the citadel shape. That looks like a pentagon. And it's a bit more blurred, but you can see there are star shapes in there. It's just all sort of over each other. Down the bottom here, we have, this is just sort of geometry, I guess. I'm not sure what it's depicting, but it's the same thing, right? We have this shape in the middle looking like this, the citadel, and then these star shapes protruding. This is this so this is vortex maths. So this shape here is the shape from vortex maths, as you can see, and the triangle, which is the 963. If you don't know about vortex maths, it's a bit hard to explain in a short time, but just Google it or YouTube it. Marco Rodin and vortex maths, and this is real maths. How numbers actually work. It's all doubling. All right, two ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 2 fours are 8. 2 8s are 16, and 1 plus 6 is 7. 2 16s are 32. 3 plus 2 is 5. 2 32s are 64, and 6 plus 4 is 10, which is 1. So it's all doubling, and this can go to infinity. And then separately, we have the 963, which is very interesting, right? Well, I think it was Tesla that said, what is it? To find the truth of this world or the universe, you need to know what the 9, 6, and 3 are. And this is the torus. And everything seems to be a torus. And this realm we live in may be in the middle of a torus, right? The plane of inertia. Now, if you can imagine what it would look like to look on this top down, we would be getting similar shapes as we see in all of these cymatics. This isn't marked. This has no name. This is just saying cymatics through water, but this looks like the cymatic for the sun, because every heavenly body, shall I say that way, has a cymatic, has a frequency. So anything with a frequency has a cymatic shape, because that's just basically the frequency put into a shape that we can see. This we have cymatic frequencies of the human vowels. So these are all speech. Okay. I think it's frozen again. I can't expand this. These are church windows across to here. So what is this? So various works of art, right? All encoded with cymatics. And of course our DNA. All right. So it's completely in us. This is another rose window from a cathedral. Here's some more cymatics. These are all, this is just a variation. So these are basically frequencies, sounds, planets, all these different things that all give, all frequencies basically. And you can see there's definitely a similar structure to them all. Here's another one. This is a bell sound. And the same thing, you can see here, right? This out here, what looks like a star fort sort of shape. And then it's got an inner star here. And in the middle here, we can see this kind of citadel shape. And if you look right in here, see this cross? That's very similar again to that depiction from that Sumerian relief with the giant in it. So that must be a frequency that is, I don't know, not good necessarily, but at least an important one. These are just cymatic. So basically frequencies played through water. You can see here we've got a star. They're all different. They're all stars, just with different levels of complexity. You can see this is a four-sided one here. Got the citadel in here. So this is what I want to get down to is everything's the same. This is the work of Dr. Emoto. So this is an ice crystal that's been frozen, but he's put the intention of love into the water. And they do that by either speaking to the water. Sometimes they literally just stick the word love to a beaker or a glass and fill it with water. Then they freeze it and they take photos of the crystals and they come out like this. Okay, so again, right, we've got this shape in the middle, like the citadel, and we've got this star shape on the outside. Now, this again is why I believe that star forts are good, right? It's good technology, and I believe that Tartaria was running off good vibes, if you want to put it that way, right? Good frequencies, because this is what we get with the frequency of love. This is what we get with the frequency of disgusting. There's no shape or form to it. And this one's evil. It's almost devoid of anything, right? So when we have higher frequencies, if we want to put it that way, the higher chakras, the love, the forgiveness, all this kind of stuff, we get these really nice, well-formed geometric patterns. And when we have the lower vibrations, we get goop, right? Nothing. This is another another water crystal by Dr. Emoto. You see the same thing, star pattern with the hexagon in the middle, right? The citadel of a star fort. This is eternity. Okay, as you can see, right? We've got the star on the outside, we've got the citadel, and this one's even got a star on the inside. This is thank you, right? Very similar. Six-sided pentagon on the inside, hexagon on the inside, and this star shape on the outside, six-pointed one. And these are very similar, right, to the star forts that we see. You are beautiful. All right, got a six-sided shape in the middle and the star shape on the outside. So this is what we seem to get. Okay, these are greetings, right? Aloha. Like we saw before, like vowels and words and the human voice. It's a frequency. So it has, all the vowels, all the words have these geometric shapes associated with them. So things like aloha, you've got good geometry. Mahalo, this is compassion, a nice five-pointed star. The god of wealth. Okay. Thank you. You're beautiful. Love for humanity, harmony, right? All perfect, really good geometry, and all with this star shape on the outside and this citadel pattern on the inside. I'm not sure what this one is, but this is another Dr. Emoto one. Here we have compassion, thank you, wisdom. Okay, so again, this is really good geometry. Down here we have heavy metal music. I will kill you, you fool. All right. And over here we have water before and after Buddha's prayer. So this is, they've done it upside down, but this is before, right? Polluted water, just goop. And then Buddhists do a prayer over it and they get this. So your body is 70% water. Okay, this is these top ones, these are water crystals. This is what happens to the water with good intention. So if we're 70% water and our self-talk is "you fool," right? Imagine what that's doing to your body. If you're listening to too much of the wrong music, imagine how that's programming the water in your body. They've also done music, classical music and Baroque music looks a lot more like this, the top pictures, the geometric forms. So keep that in mind as well. Like, this is happening inside your body with all the self-talk. So if you're, showing compassion and wisdom, and if you're grateful, you're going to get this. Your body's going to be full of this great geometry, right? If your self-talk is this, and the music and frequencies you're taking in are low, then you're going to get this, which is dis-ease, right? This is ease, this is dis-ease, disease. Then this is why we give it to ourselves. All dis-ease, all ailments are caused by us, the placebo effect. And this is one of the biggest reasons why, because we're changing the structure of 70% of our body just through our self-talk and through what the frequencies that, we inhabit the most. And that includes the people you hang out with. If you hang out with people that are, calling you a fool and saying bad things to you and listening to the wrong frequencies, this is where you're going to go, compared to if you're listening to people who are uplifting and inspiring you. Here's a few more: joy, love, eternal, harmony, soul, angels, all right, all the good stuff. So this is a mandala. These are pictures that are drawn by Tibetan monks, amongst other people, and this is what they look like. And another thing you'll notice is these all look like flowers, right? Like flowers. Now, flowers, when you look at a flower, it looks like a little radar receiving dish, right? Like it's just sitting there collecting the frequencies from the sun. And no doubt, the water it's taking in, the soil it's in, things like that. And that's why flowers look like they do. That they are living cymatics. So, like, literally, we're looking at frequencies. And of course, if you have any self-talk, if you're having bad self-talk and there's stuff going on in your head that you might want to fix, check out the link below. Flora Live. They are actually essences. They're frequencies taken from uncut flowers. And again, it's all dependent on the flower. The flowers do different things. And when you take these frequencies, these essences, which are literally the frequency of the flower, they affect your body and the water structure of your body. And so they can affect your self-talk and the stuff that's going on in your mind. This is real, I don't want to say medicine. This is real healing, right? Healer plants, like we know plant medicine and plants are healers, a lot of them. And this is why, because they're frequency collectors. So you just need to find the one with the right frequency that is going to counteract whatever you're trying to alter, to fix in yourself, and it will do the work for you. All right, so check that out below. You'll find the link below if you're interested in checking that out. But this is how it all works. Everything is frequency, right? So these are just more mandalas. These are from the oscilloscope. And basically from this oscilloscope, no, it doesn't tell me. Jerobeam, what's his name? If you put in oscilloscope Jerobeam, you'll get it. It's called Shrooms. And basically it's a song and he just plays it through an oscilloscope. And you can see here, right, they're coming up. Look at this, right? 5-pointed star. But you can also see how they're formed, right, with these extra layers. And we see this in the star plots, right, these double edges and these sort of expanding explosions, of frequency coming off them. 5-pointed one. This is the oscilloscope here, right? These are just different frequencies. Look at this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-sided. Right, so this is all just sound. You're looking at sound frequency. This is a pufferfish, okay? Lives in the ocean. This is a pufferfish nest. Check this out. All right. So even in nature, we get these same patterns. All right. This is a fish. I'm not sure if it's a nest or if it's something that the male makes to attract the female, but basically like a nest or I guess it's a fish version of the male birds having all the bright colorful feathers, right, to attract the females. This is what the pufferfish does. And it looks a lot like a cymatic shape. Right, and it's just the fish swimming around in circles and flapping its fins, and it gets this. So I found that very interesting. Here's another picture of it. I think that's the fish in the middle there. But this is what they make, because everything is frequency. And of course, this is underwater, right? Oh, and there you go. He got his mate. Oh, a little kiss. These are snowflakes. Same thing. Look at the design here. All right, 5-pointed stars everywhere. All right. And again, that's water falling through the atmosphere, collecting frequency, I guess, and formed up in clouds and things, and it's just reflecting the frequencies. So I'm not sure what you would get. It'd be interesting, right, to get snowflakes through some of those, what people call chemtrails. I wonder if that would affect them. Here's some more. As you can see here, right, we've got the citadel, and we've got the star, we've got the citadel, and then a bigger citadel. Here we have the citadel in the middle, 5-point or 6-pointed sort of star around the outside. All right, so these all are very similar. And these are frequencies. These are the frequencies of the world that we inhabit, basically. All right, and there's a few more snowflakes for you. Just going to show a short little video, which is going to put another layer on this frequency. Like they say that we are frequency, right? Are we? Let's have a look.
Nobody is ready for this one. This probably looks familiar. It probably looks like these cymatic patterns that I talk about all the fucking time. And all these things is a petri dish on top of a speaker and a light on top of it, making these cool mandala-like patterns. Now this man made one of them in a 3D design software and took cross sections of it and put different colors to those cross sections. So using a 3D cymatic pattern, this man was able to create a perfect image using sound and light. I want you to sit and really think about this, because this is the code to reality. This is the code to the matrix, or whatever you want to call it. This is how energy interacts with itself to create everything that you see. This is why cymatics and sound is so important. Vibration in general. It's all waves. That's how we make sense of it.
Well, what did you think of that?